when teaching in China, I put forward the argument, love is not real. It is an invention of the novelists that started writing in the second half of the 18th century. The vast majority of my students at the university were girls, so this prompted a vigorous debate in opposition. If love does exist, then it is a transient condition, a chemical reaction stimulated by the brain, and can be measured by your little heart going pitter-patter, or your mouth feeling as dry as an illicit rendezvous in the Sahara when you meet your beloved. Lucy Prebble's clever, critically acclaimed 2012 play The Effect examines this question, juxtaposing it with a parallel argument about depression. That is, to what extent is love and depression real, or are they chemical imbalances stimulated from the brain? I'll let Lucy explain what the play is about.
With my play The Effect, it's very much about love and emotion, but also about the way that we medicalise society now, and we medicalise ourselves. And I'm very drawn to the fact that there's a lot of people at the moment who are taking medication for various mental conditions, and that there isn't as much talking about that, particularly in Britain. You know, I think it's a bit better here, but even still, there's still some stigma attached to it. Things like depression, all the way through to schizophrenia and bipolar, and all of those things. And so I became very interested in the idea of whether or not love can be classified in some ways as a madness or a mental illness, and that it has featured in poetry and song in that way for a really long time. And so that's really where this play came out of, and I think I'm drawn to those sorts of where emotion meets what's going on in society somehow, and they overlap.
The Effect premiered at the National Theatre, Cottesloe, in November 2012, following on from the playwright's smash 2009 hit Enron. The Effect received almost universal acclaim for its intelligence and originality. The play is a four-hander. Connie and Tristan are volunteer guinea pigs for a trial drug for a pharmaceutical company testing a new antidepressant drug. Connie is a pragmatic psychology student who is by nature questioning the scientific integrity of the drug in opposition to her academic subject. Tristan is an unrepressed, emotional guy who appears to be making his way through life with no great purpose or direction. The two of them are drawn to each other through their shared experience and inevitably fall in love. Or do they? Is this the real deal or an effect of the trial drug? The doctor conducting the experiment, Dr. James, has problems of her own, largely due to her past sexual experience and present professional one, with her boss, Toby. Connie is played by newcomer Husina Raja. The actress manages to convey her character's sensibleness and confusion over her feelings towards Tristan. Together with compassion and love possibly, with admirable warmth and attraction. Neil McWilliams, Toby, recently appeared in Org O12's production of Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men at Chapter in Cardiff. He stood out in a disappointing production, and again he reveals a gamut of emotions ranging from humour, aggression, romance and vulnerability. Looking a little like Welsh rugby legend Shane Williams and sounding like Colin Farrell, his performance is both physical and nuanced. Nicola Reynolds as Dr. James also is fine in her role. As the initially bossy conductor of the experiment, she handles her character's mental disintegration with immense skill and subtlety. Finally, James Thomas, playing Toby, delivers a supercilious depiction of an academic confident in his own understanding of his subject, but conducting the experiment with dubious concern for ethics. When he delivers a lecture to the audience about the workings of the brain, he is very plausible, although if you closed your eyes you could easily mistake the lecturer's voice as belonging to Rob Brydon. The production values are superb for this small-scaled venue. Dan Jones, the artistic director of The Other Room, elicits fine performances from the four actors. And if blocking is occasionally a little cumbersome, it is down to the small space the team have to work within. Carl Davis's design works very well within this confined area. Two beds opposite one another and a tiled floor help to promote a clinical and slightly hostile environment. And two TV monitors opposite one another record and broadcast to the audience the various stages of the trial. Lighting designer Joe Fletcher also contributes well with some highly effective use of strobe lighting, heightening the play's intensity. The play, which is often funny, conjures up many points for consideration, other than those I have already mentioned. The controversial question of ethics that lie behind the development of new drugs by the pharmaceutical industry is brought up. Also, the question of free will and cause and effect. So what was the playwright Lucy Prebble trying to tell us?
I'd be really happy if audiences were moved by it and interested in its contents, but fundamentally that they felt less alone in any feelings of heartbreak, particularly because it's very much about love, and any feelings of loss or sadness or melancholy as well. It's a play that I hope people will watch and go, I felt that, and that expresses it. That would be a dream.
The Effect is the final segment of The Other Room's lovesick season and provides a fitting conclusion to what has been a challenging, thought-provoking trilogy of modern British drama. The Effect is considered suitable for audiences over the age of 14 due to constant strong language, the subject matter and adult scenes. Its running time is slightly over 2 hours, which includes a 10-minute interval. It runs at the Other Room in Cardiff until the 12th of May. Please be aware that this show starts earlier than usual at this venue at 7 p.m. in the evening. Times and ticket availability are available by following the link underneath this review. Thank you for listening.